So it might surprise you to hear that I actually don't want GameStop to go under. I don't want them to go away because if GameStop goes away, that's a massive hole in like the gaming for physical media, right? Physical media is sold heavily out of GameStop. That's like the last real dedicated to games kind of, now that half their store is like just all kinds of other stuff, apparel and backpacks and clothes. It used to just be all games, I promise, to the younger audience. It used to be all games. But now we're to the point where GameStop is struggling. Their stock has been on a downward trajectory for a while. And they've even, as recently as last year, I think it was in June, said that they are seeking someone to buy them because it doesn't look good for them. Basically, they kind of see the writing on the wall and they know that there is a limited amount of time for the current owners. So where are we now? Well, going into this year, we've kind of figured that if they're going to sell based on even their latest reportings that weren't great, or they lost a lot of money essentially, at least not liquid cash, but they definitely lost a lot of value, that they need to sell soon. And it sounds like they're going to be doing that actually, as the Wall Street Journal reported that two companies are currently in a bidding war for GameStop. You might be wondering, why would two companies be in a bidding war for GameStop? Well, if you're a bigger company that has more capital to play with and maybe some ideas to fix it up, well, you might actually see it as a lucrative purchase considering it is much less valuable now than it was 10, 15 years ago even. It was more valuable definitely 10 years ago before the digital age really grabbed the retail storefront and really diminished the need to go out. I mean, a lot of people buy digital now, so why would you go out to a store outside of buying a controller or a system? And even then, you might just buy it on Amazon and have it shipped to your store or your house. There's really not a lot of reasons to go out anymore. So the two companies that are looking at this actually are kind of interesting to think about. One is Apollo Global Management, the other one is Sycamore Partners. Now, Sycamore actually owns two chains that you may already know of. The other ones are kind of offshoots and maybe things you're just not aware of. But one is Staples, and I'm actually still amazed that Staples is around, although of course they provide a lot of things for the office and bigger businesses. So I think that's the biggest thing, because the one near me, not a lot of people go into, and a lot of their stuff is fairly overpriced and you could find it cheaper pretty much anywhere else. And then they also own Hot Topic, which when I saw Hot Topic, I said, okay, so they have a lot of experience, Sycamore does, in the retail front. So they're very familiar with working with consumers, customers, and retail. So they make sense as to why they're currently bidding on GameStop, reported by Wall Street Journal. The other one, Apollo, actually owns Redbox, and that stuck out to me as well, as they are currently renting movies and video games, of course, out of an automated machine. So no one's actually there running it. Someone comes by, once a week, twice a week. If you're someone who actually has that job and goes around maintaining these things, let me know how often you go around to these red boxes. But people come around, they restock, they check out things that are defective, and then of course they get, I guess, any money that might be in there. I think it's all even credit cards now though. But they basically come around, they maintain it a few times a week, and that's it. You don't have a store full of customers and a store full of employees. So I wondered if Apollo would have been interested in this, one for just the overall inventory that GameStop has, because they have a lot of inventory. They also have a lot of connections to wholesalers, definitely have connections to like Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and they have a lot of buying power because they have a lot of stores, a lot of locations. The more you buy, generally the better your prices are from wholesalers. Trust me, I've seen this myself. It was a lot easier back in the day when, if you're a part of something like a play and trade and then moving over to like your own thing, the prices went up a bit when you weren't buying in massive bulk. GameStop has thousands and thousands of stores they buy for, so the price on these games are lower when they buy. So I understand why Apollo might be looking at this. To be in a bidding war with Sycamore is weird though, because GameStop isn't worth a ton at this time, much less than they were before. So I'm not really sure why they're bidding each other up over this, unless both of them just have an amazing idea to turn this whole thing around. But when you buy GameStop, you're going to get all of these locations, all of these leases to maintain and check out and everything. So while you could close some of the locations, you might not be able to close all of them. It's going to be a really weird transition, and I'm trying to figure out if this would even make a difference if either of them bought it. Like, I mean, yeah, they probably both have more investment, more capital to actually work with these stores, but like, what else can they do? It's not like they can just stop digital gaming from taking over. they have to have a really good idea to turn this whole thing around. And I wonder if they're looking at the retail fronts to maybe fix up the retail stores, maybe offer better products when it comes to their refurbished systems. I've shown several times here that the refurbished systems aren't the greatest. I don't know, maybe they have an idea for customer service. That is certainly something that concerns people and really makes people not want to go to GameStop, is the way that they are asked a million times about pre-ordering or a subscription service or all kinds of stuff. Now, according to Wall Street Journal, an announcement could be done as early as mid-February. So we could see GameStop announce that they have been purchased next month. I'll be following this because I'm very interested to see what happens with what is pretty much the last major chain that's dedicated to selling video games. Sure, Best Buy sells video games, Walmart, Target, right? The list goes on, but they don't just sell video games. This is like it. This is the last, I guess, just the last big store to go to, chain of stores that has nothing but video games. So it's gonna be interesting to watch, and I'll keep an eye on it. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps out. If not, the dislike. Make sure you get subscribed, especially if you want to keep up to date on GameStop and what's happening there. And then, of course, all gaming news and some of their refurb systems. I have an interesting one coming in that we should look at this weekend. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.